President Donald Trump directed angry tweets at Special Counsel Robert Mueller over the weekend. The tweets were prompted by the Department of Justice's decision to fire Deputy Director Andrew McCabe Friday as recommended by the Bureau's Office of Professional Responsibility. Took action on McCabe after the DOJ's Inspector General handed over evidence that the former FBI agent lied under oath and leaked information to the media. Trump's tweets on Mueller appeared to some Republicans and Democrats be a veiled threat to fire Mueller. Those lawmakers warned the president that it would be the beginning of the end for his presidency if Trump fired the special counsel. They also criticized Trump's attorney John Dowd for suggesting over the weekend that the Mueller probe should end. Cobb, the president's personal attorney, reassured lawmakers on Monday that the president does not plan to fire Mueller. But Dowd is not alone. McCabe's firing should raise serious questions as to where Mueller's investigation is going. Mueller's past involvement in cases casts a very different light on the former FBI director than the one painted by his proponents in the media, said David Schoen, a civil rights and defense attorney. Schoen has been outspoken on the special counsel and criticized Mueller's top attorney Andrew Weissmann's involvement in the investigation, as reported. "We all have the right, even the obligation, to demand fairness in the process, and this process is not the least bit fair and the investigations lack integrity," said Schoen. He noted that as a defense attorney, Dowd should question how the investigation against Trump and his campaign came to be, and if it was based on false information in an unverified dossier paid for by political opponents, then the investigation is moot, said Schoen. The Trump-Russia investigation appears to be based, at least in significant part, on unverified and circumstantial evidence, coordinated actions of political opponents, and it is irretrievably tainted from its inception and must end now, Schoen said. The case was also established by partisan bureau officials who were bent on bringing charges against Trump, he added. Although some lawmakers have asked for a second special counsel to investigate the FBI and DOJ's actions in investigating Trump, many still continue to support Mueller's ongoing investigation, which began at the behest of those being accused of wrongdoing in the FBI. Schoen is surprised that lawmakers have lauded Mueller as a stellar and well-respected former FBI director, but have little knowledge about the former bureau director's past from the criticism during his years in Boston, challenges with the 911 Commission findings when he was first appointed to the FBI and handling of the Anthrax case, to name a few, he said. Mueller in Boston. Mueller was an Assistant U.S. Attorney in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston, and then becamse Acting U.S. Attorney in Boston from 1986 through 1987. It was Mueller's actions during that time that raised questions about his role in one of the FBI's most controversial cases involving the FBI's use of a confidential informant that led to the convictions of 4 innocent men who were sentenced to death for murders they did not commit. Local law enforcement officials, the media, and some colleagues criticized Mueller and the FBI for what they believed was the Bureau's role in covering up for the FBI's longtime dealings with mobster and informant James Whitey Bulger. Bulger was a kingpin and a confidential informant for the FBI from the 1970s in the Bureau's efforts to take down the Italian mafia in Boston. but Bulger's relationship with his FBI handler Special Agent John Connolly became toxic. It was later discovered that Connolly went out of his way to protect Bulger and aided the crime boss against investigations being conducted by the Boston PD and the Massachusetts State Police. According to reports at the time, Connolly would inform Bulger of wiretaps and surveillance being conducted by law enforcement. Journalist Kevin Cullen wrote extensively about the FBI's involvement with Bulger and raised concerns about the old case in a 2011 article in Boston. After Obama asked Congress to make an exception to allow Mueller to stay on 2 extra years beyond the mandated 10-year limit as FBI director. Cullen said in his story that Mueller, who was first an assistant U.S. attorney, then as the acting U.S. attorney in Boston, had written letters to the Parole and Pardons Board throughout the 1980s opposing clemency for the 4 men framed by FBI lies. Of course, Mueller was also in that position, while Whitey Bulger was helping the FBI cart off his criminal competitors even as he buried bodies in shallow graves along the Neponset. In 2001, those 4 men, who were convicted in 1965 of Teddy Deegan's murder, were exonerated by the courts. It was discovered that the FBI withheld evidence from the court to protect their informant that would have cleared the men, according to reports. At the time, the Bureau buried the truth to protect Vincent "Jimmy" Flemmi, their informant, who was the brother of Stevie Flemmi, a partner of Bulger